Mama told me not to waste my life. She said, spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And if they give you shh, then they can walk on by. My feet can't touch the ground, and I can't hear a sound, but you just keep on running up your mouth. Yeah, walk on over there, 'cause I'm too fly to care. Oh yeah, your words don't mean a thing. I'm not listening. Keep talking. All I know is Mama told me not to waste my life. She says spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And they can't detain you, 'cause wings are made to fly. And we don't let nobody bring us down. No matter what you say, it won't hurt me. No matter if I fall from the sky, 'cause wings are made to fly. Hey, hey, hey.
Firing up on the runway, you know we gotta get there someday. We don't need no ready, steady, go, no. Chopters into air, 'cause I don't even care. Oh yeah,
Your words don't mean a thing. I'm not listening. Keep talking. All I know is Mama told me not to waste my life. She says spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And they can't detain you, 'cause wings are made to fly. And we don't let nobody bring us down. No matter what you say, it won't hurt me. No matter if I fall from the sky, 'cause wings are made to fly. Say hey, 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 hey. I don't need no one saying hey, 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 hey. You better keep on walking. I don't wanna hear you talking, boy. You better keep on walking. I don't wanna hear you talking. Words don't mean a thing. I'm not listening. Keep talking. All I know is Mama told me not to waste my life. She said spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And they can't detain you, 'cause wings are made to fly. And we don't let nobody bring us down. No matter what you say, it won't hurt me. No matter if I fall from the sky, 'cause wings are made to fly. And we don't let nobody bring us down. No matter what they say, it won't hurt me. No matter if I fall from the sky, 'cause wings are made to fly.
沖縄島から来日した合唱団の皆さんは歌と息の合ったダンスパフォーマンスを披露しました。
Good afternoon, everyone. Please refrain from typing your names no, on the chat box. All you need to do is to change your name. No, you can click the three buttons, I guess, on your name. On your screen, and then you rename based on the given sample a while ago. So please refrain from chatting your names na in the chat box. Thank you so much.
Like trouble breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so ooh, to the boogie line. A side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Side step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll. Smooth like butter. Pour you in like no other. Don't need no usher to remind me you got it bad. Ain't no other that could sweep you up like a rubber. Straight up, I gotcha. Making you fall like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm at your heart to do. I got the superstar glow, so ooh, to the boogie line. Side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. A side step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll. Get it, let it roll. Get it, let it roll.
Eyes on my wrist, I'm the nice guy. Got the right body and the right mind. Rolling up the party, got the right vibes. Move like haters. Fresh boy, pull up and we lay low. All the players get moving with the bass low. Got the army right behind us when we say so. Let's go.
Side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Side step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll.
Cool light, cool shade, and you know we don't stop. Highlight, ain't no. You been like, oh my god. We gon' make it rock in his head. We gon' make it bounce in his head. Hotter, sweeter, cooler, butter.
Get it, let it roll. Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so ooh,
To the boogie
a
line.
side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Side don't need no usher to remind me you got it bad. Ain't no other that can sweep you up like a rubber. Straight up, I gotcha. Making you fall like that.
rich, I'm the nice guy. Got the right body and the right mind. Rolling up the party, got the right vibes. Move like haters. Fresh boy, pull up and we lay low. All the players get moving with the bass low. Got army right behind us when we say so. Let's go.
Step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got the heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Step right left to my beat. Let it roll.
Smooth like cool shade, and you know we don't stop. How like ain't no, you been like oh my god. We gon' make it rock in his head. We gon' make it bounce in his head. Hotter, sweeter, cooler, butter.
Get it, let it roll. Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Gone pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'll make you hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so ooh. Side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Side step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll. Smooth like butter, pour you in like no other. Don't need no pressure to remind me you got it bad. Ain't no other that can sweep you up like a rubber. Straight up, I gotcha, making you fall like that.
Break it down.
Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm at your heart into two. I got the superstar glow, so ooh. Side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. You know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. A side step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll. Get it, let it roll. Get it, let it roll.
Ice on my wrist, I'm the nice guy. Got the right body and the right mind. Rolling up the party, got the right vibes. Move like haters. Fresh boy, pull up and we lay low. All the players get moving when the bass low. Got army right behind us when we say so. Let's go.
Side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby.
Right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Component B seminar entitled Pre-Employment Seminar for CAED 500 Students. All right, so this is the second session no, of our seminar. So kanina we had our first session, the morning session, and today the afternoon session. All right, so this is your first no, activity no, for the Component B no, na component ninyo for CAED 500. So again, CAED 500 is composed of 3 components. So you're done with your component A, together with your facilitators and also coaches in the guidance and testing center. So we are from the External Relations and International Affairs Office. We will be handling with the component B and component C. Okay, so to start our activity, our seminar this afternoon, we request everyone to please bow down your heads and close your eyes and let us pray. Our most gracious and loving Father, we thank you, God, for this afternoon that you have given to us. Thank you for the gift of life. We thank you, Lord God, for everything that you have done upon our lives. And Lord, we humble down before you, asking, Lord, for forgiveness for all the things that we've done. They're not able to glorify your name. And Lord, as we will have our seminar this afternoon, we pray for your guidance and protection. We pray for a good connection, and even pray, Lord God, that we will have harmonious and very substantial seminar and learnings this afternoon. We give you praise, glory, and honor. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, again, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, can have a saba, a clap reaction, no? No, just to say, I just to be able to say na you're alive there. No, pwede ba? Virtual clap. Ayan. Okay. So para naisaba-saba ba? Okay. So again, this is the Component P seminar na entitled Pre-Employment Seminar for Local Applicants or for CAED 500. So this afternoon, we'll be tackling about yung mga, what are the things that you have to do before employment. So this is very important because most of you here, no, ano na, more humot na ang toga, all right? So mga konting kapit na lang and you'll be able to graduate na. But before you graduate, we have to be prepared for the things that you need to do in order for you to really get the job that you want to in the future. All right. So this afternoon, we are very privileged, because we had our speaker, an excellent speaker, who will be tackling pre-employment ng mga things that you have to prepare. Okay, the Vice President for External Relation, our speaker is Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro. But before that, let's have first an activity, an energizer, and in order for you to know what are the things that we're going to discuss this afternoon. So Sir Marv's, can we share our screen? And we are requesting our students to please go to menti.com and then write your full name and also write this code or type this code 57373225. Okay, so if you have problems with your connections kasi grabe dito sa chat na like yung data nila, so you can actually go to YouTube, YouTube channel of the University of Mindanao kung hindi talaga kaya ng ano ninyo, ng internet ninyo or ng data ninyo. So we are also live there, para ma-limit ang inyong data. All right? Okay? So we are 300 plus na participants here. So we are expecting everyone to go to menti.com, write your full name, and then also type the code for our activity this afternoon, 57373225. Okay. So we will just choose one winner here. Okay, so this is just activating your prior knowledge. We know that you are already very exposed to application letters, mga job interviews, and any topic with regards to pre-employment. So let's see kung ano yung mga ano yung prior knowledge natin. All right. So we need more participants pa. So merong prize sa top 1 dito. Okay, so we will be given the prize at the end of CAED 500 because we're going to have our culmination day. So doon namin ibibigay yung prize sa mga nanalo dito sa ating quiz. All right, so keep joining. Again, menti.com, write your name, and then type the code 57373225. So I guess, sir, we're good. Let's start our quiz. Please enter to start the countdown. Answer fast to get more points. First question, how long is the ideal resume? 1 to 2 pages, 4 to 5 pages. It depends on the job. So click your answer na. So let's see kung saan yung pinakabandami ang answer. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. So most of the students answered 1 to 2 pages. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct. 1 to 2 pages ang ideal resume. Let's go to the next part. Tingnan natin kung sino yung top 1. Okay, top 1 natin sa leaderboard. So again, you go to menti.com, then use the code 57373225. Fastest in the first question is Kevin. And siya yung nasa top 1 natin. Let's see kung si Kevin pa din later sa number 1 spot. Here's the second question. So you answer fast to get more points. Here's the question. The objective of the resume is for the applicant to get hired. Is this true or false? Click your answer. What do you think? The objective of the resume is for the applicant to get hired. Is this statement true or false? 1 time's up. Let's see kung saan ang pinakamadami ang nag-answer, or mostly true. But the answer is false. Because the answer for that, the objective of the resume is not for the applicant to get hired, but to get an interview. Okay, let's see kung si Kevin pa din ba yung top 1. Still, Kevin is the fastest and nasa top 1 ng leaderboard natin. Second is Eloise and then Joey. All right, let's have the number 3 question. So, kaya pa yan. All right. In most job application, the best applicant gets the job. Is this true or false? In most job application, the best applicant gets the job. Is this true or false? Or pwedeng trolls? 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Let's see kung sa, oops. Okay, mostly true, no? But the correct answer is false. So the correct statement there should be in most job application, no? Tawag nito? Nakalimutan ko sa to. But later on, it will be discussed, no? Most job application, the best interview, no, gets the job. It's not the application. That's the interview. Still, Kevin is the fastest one and nasa leaderboard natin, top 1. Okay, still Luis and then iba na yung top 3. Habol pa yan, Luis, kaya pa yan. We still have 2 questions. And others can still habol. So which of the following should not be included in the resume? Contact number, education, height, and religion. What do you think? Click your answer now. Still have 10 seconds to choose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Let's see kung saan ang pinakamadami ang answer. All right, height and religion, and you got the correct answer. Congratulations. But let's see kung sino yung nasa leaderboard. Would still be Kevin. Ayan, ayaw magpatalo ni Kevin. But si Eloise yung fastest, ha? So, be mindful of that, Kevin. So, kailangan masustain ang iyong pagka-top 1. Now, let's have the last question. Answer fast to get more points. Will you do the job? Is a general question on the applicant's blank. Is it the skills, motivation, or adaptability? Will you do the job? Is a general question on the applicant's blank. So click your answer. Still have 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Tingnan natin kung saan ang mas pinakamadami ang answer. Most of them skills, but the correct answer is motivation. So later on, we will discuss on those questions. All right. And let's see who's the winner of our quiz this afternoon. And the winner is... All right, Kevin. So congratulations, Kevin. Please type your name in the chat box natin sa Zoom, your full name and also your code so that we will be able to list your name para sa culmination. We will give the prize for you. So thank you very much for your participation on our activity. So this time, ladies and gentlemen, a virtual round of applause for our speaker, Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro. Sir?
Yeah, good afternoon. Nag-enjoy ako doon. Grabe ka, very tight ang competition. No? Yung last question, the first, second, and third, they were the fastest. I mean, time, pareho talaga sila. So I think we'll also request the second placer to type in yung name niya. No? Sino yung...
I think that's Eloise. Yeah. So please type also
second,
your...
Oo, yung second. Tapos funny, may mga nagtanong, paano ba ang mag-join, ganyan-ganyan. Mentimeter nga di ba? Anyway, sige, good afternoon and welcome to our Kain 500 Component B session. We're going to have a webinar today. Sige, so ayan, si Esnar, Angel. Grabe ka, Angel, hindi mo talaga ginisludge yung number 1. Number 1 and number 2 from the start, no? Consistent kayo. Alright? Sige. Let me share my screen and then, So the title of our webinar today is Pre-Employment for Kain 500, which means that the talk today, the seminar today will be about things that will make you prepare you for your job search process, no? Okay? Kain 500 is a unique course because you cannot find this in other university, in other academic institution. This is offered to senior students, no? Students who are expected to graduate, no? Or you only have one semester left, but we understand that we also have students enrolled in Kain 500 who are not yet in their final years, no? But it's fine, no? No problem about that. The aim of the course is to prepare you for your job search process when you graduate. Even if you're not yet graduating, even if you're still on the stage of looking for jobs while also going to school, this one will help you a lot, no? Okay? So your Kain 500 has three components. No, component A is handled by the Guidance and Testing Center, and that's 30% of your grade. So since the fact that you are now in your component B, we will assume that you are done with your component A. And why we are telling this, we're giving this orientation because in case you are incomplete, no, in your Kain 500, you know whom to approach. You know which component you are going to approach so that you have an idea na dito pala ako na component nagkulang, no? Component B and C are handled by our office, External Relations. And another unique thing in this course is that different facilitators, no, different teachers are assigned to handle, no. So you will get to experience different expertise, no, different sharing from your coordinators. All right. So for our topic, this is how you are graded, no. But for our topic, I will go back to that. For component B, this is how you are rated also. For the seminar today, this is 35 points. So make it sure that you have attended. Okay, the fact that you are here, so you are present, you have 35 points. You will be asked to submit sample application letter and resume. That's 30 points each. For your component C, we will be having a separate another seminar, webinar, and mock interview. That's 40 points, no? Career portfolio, you will be required to submit a career portfolio. That's 35 points. We will have a culmination program, no? Same as what we are doing right now. That's 20 points. So your participation to that is 20 points, no? So this is how you will be graded in your KAIN 500. So make it sure that you will comply everything so that you will not encounter any problem the time that you are finished, no, in the semester. Now, for this session, there will be three important topics that we are going to talk about. Now, one is that how are you going to prepare a winning cover letter and resume? The second one is how are you going to ace in the job interview? And you see these first two things, no? Writing a letter, application letter, and resume, and preparing yourself for job interview are very important, very significant. And in fact, it could be a determining factor of making or breaking you during your job application process. All right. And social media etiquette, because social media is the most efficient and common way of doing background investigation by your potential employer. So you have to be careful on what you are going to post in your social media account. All right. So these are the things that we are going to discuss this afternoon. Now, let's start by asking why write a cover letter. And in fact, in the mentee quiz, it was question number 2. No, the purpose of writing a letter and a resume is for you to get a job, and the answer was false because it's not. You will not be hired or you will not be rejected from the position from your application. No, because of what you have written in your letter and in your resume. But the intention of this actually is for you to proceed to the next stage of the screening process. So application is a process. There are steps, no? Step 1, step 2, step 3. So the first step is writing a letter and resume, or submitting your application letter and your resume. And this morning's session, I'm excited and I'm happy because the students, the participants were so eager, no, they were so active in their participation. They asked so many questions. So I hope that the afternoon session will also be the same. All right. Okay. So why write a cover letter? The first one is to show your communication skills, your writing skills, that you can write. Because ganito yan. Yeah, Davon, why you are raising your hand? That you can write, because regardless of your course, of your degree, whether you're into technical courses like architecture, engineering, or criminology, or HRM, or education, there will come a point in your career, no, in your life, that you will be asked to write a letter, to write something. That's why, it's not an excuse that you cannot write, no, that you cannot communicate. So this is one way of gauging, of assessing your capability in this regard. The second one is to highlight the purpose of your letter and introduce the writer, or the applicant, to the reader. Why you are writing? What is the intention all about? Of course, you are there because you are applying for a position, all right? So that's why you are writing a cover letter or an application letter. The third one is to give the reader an idea whether they will continue, no, to read the rest of the documents or not. All right. So it will give a gist, a background of the potential of the applicant. That's why you have to be careful. You have to spend so much time in preparing your application letter. No? So how are you going to write a winning cover letter? No, standard. I mean, it's simple, but if you just follow, this is a business correspondence 101. For sure, you have lesson like this in your other courses, particularly in your English classes, in your English courses. But we are sometimes sad to see that students or graduates or applicants cannot follow simple instruction in writing application letter. No, so this is one thing that we have to remind you. Isn't it that the application letter is different from the things that you have discussed in your business correspondence lesson? Okay. So that's why we decided to have a separate session on this. No, so you have their inside address. The inside address should contain the information about the addressee, the name of the addressee or the employer's name, the job title, the name of the company, of the organization, of the agency, and the address. No, so when you say the name of the addressee or the employer's name, then you have to get the complete name, no, the exact, the correct, and the complete name. Okay. uh, and then the position. Now, if you are not knowledgeable about the position and the name, therefore, you have to exert effort. You have to call, you may visit. If you're allowed to do that, then you visit the company, no? And then get the name of the person to whom you can address the letter, okay? And then you have their salutation. It says here that you have to be formal in your salutation. So why is it formal? Ano ba ang informal at ano ba ang formal? Informal, pag sinasabi mo, ever dearest, no? Or dear, or dearest, that's not formal, no? In most cases, we write, Dear Miss Santos, no? But when you use dear, okay, students, take note, you only use dear if you know the person or you know each other. Magkakilala na kayo. So you can use dear. But if you have not met the person or it's your first time to write that person, then you have to say Miss Santos or Mr. Santos kung lalaki siya, ganyan, no? So do not write dear. Kasi kung Tagalogin mo ang dear, minamahal kong Miss Santos. So hindi siya formal, di ba? Okay. Parang Dear Ate Charo or Dear Mel Chanco. Parang mga ganon, no? Di ba? So hindi siya formal. You have to be corporate sounding in that area. The second one is introductory paragraph. No? So it says here that you can state how did you get to know the information about the job opening and mention your interest for the position. Diba? So paano mo nakuha ang information? Saan nanggaling ang information na may bakante? No? Isama mo yan sa iyong letter. Isulat mo yan siya sa first paragraph ng iyong letter. And of course, your intention, your interest of applying for the position. Okay? So that will be your first paragraph. Your second paragraph, something about yourself, no? Something about your qualification, something about what you are capable of doing, something about that is in you, talks about your skills, your personality, and the attributes that you possess, which are important in the performance of the job. Okay? So two things there. What will be the sources of the information for your second paragraph, no? Two sources of information. One is your work experience, professional experience, or OJT or internship experience will do. Nakuha ninyo? Second, something about your skills, either or both soft skills and hard skills, which you think are relevant in the performance of the job. O dalawa lang, no, 'di ba? So, ano yung mga experience mo, work experience mo, may professional experience ka ba na related sa trabaho na ina-applyan mo, at saka anong attributes meron ka, anong skills, soft skills or hard skills meron ka na necessary sa performance ng trabaho. Nakuha ninyo? So that will be your second paragraph. Your third paragraph is your closing paragraph, no? So you close by thanking the reader and requesting an interview. So, you open the door for interview, for meet and greet, or for interview, whether it's going to be a remote virtual interview, that would be all right, no? But at least the chance for you to prove your worth, to prove your qualification, to prove yourself can be done during the interview, no? So sinasabi natin that the purpose of the application letter and the resume is for you to get an interview. The purpose of the interview is for you to get the job. The interview is the deciding factor among, no, all the screening stages that you're going to undergo, no, to experience in your job application process. Instill that in your mind, no? All right? And then you have your complimentary close. Again, same as in your salutation, you have to be formal sounding there, no? So, you have to be respectful, you have to be formal, you have to be corporatist, no, in your complimentary close. So you can say there sincerely or respectfully, something like that. Now, ano ang hindi formal? To me, very truly yours is not formal. Okay? Mahilig tayo sa mga very truly yours. Tagalogin mo ang very truly yours. Ako'y iyong buong buo. 'Di ba? So, hindi siya formal. Tayo, Pinoy, mahilig tayo kumopya, no? Magkopya. And we are not making sure whether tama yon or hindi, no? So, after your complimentary close, you write your name and then your signature. Do not forget, no? Do not submit a letter without your signature. All right? Okay. So that's your application letter, and that's one of the documents that will be required from you in CAED 500. No? You're going to submit your sample application letter, and let's see if you were able to follow the instruction given to you. Next up, okay, so here is an example of an application letter written by our CAED 500 student, no, in 2020. So there is the name, no, of the addressee. Sabi natin, dapat isulat nyo talaga, no? And then the position, and then the name of the organization and address. And then Mr. Baluran. There is no word dear, no? The first paragraph mentioned where did he get the information, and of course, his intention to apply for the position. The second paragraph mentioned about his exposures, no, and what he learned from that exposures. Okay, how did that exposures, that experience, help the applicant enhance his social skills, as well as his other attributes, no? And then also his experience, although his attributes, of course. And then the third paragraph, of course, something about discussing the qualifications, no, in a more formal manner, probably in an interview. And of course, the contact number and the email address are also mentioned in the third paragraph. No? And then sincerely, the name of the applicant and then the signature. All right. Now let's proceed to the resume. The other document that's so important in your pre-application process is resume. And it says here that the resume is your personal brochure to market yourself. It should give your potential employer a quick view of what you can do for them. So it's a brochure. It's just like, you're planning to buy a new laptop, a new gadget, a new phone. And before you make your decision, then you're going to grab as many as possible a copy of dot brochures for you to be able to have a comparison. So the same thing with resume. That's how resume stands for in an application process. All right. Now it's not about sometimes in the brochure. Sometimes it's about the color, it's about the layout and the like. But compared to a brochure, no, uh, resume is not about that. It's about the content. It's about what you have written there. All right. Okay. So for new graduates, just like you know, in the future, you can list your accomplishments in school because you have nothing to vouch or flaunt, though something that's related to professional work because most of you probably don't have any experience with regards to professional work, right? So what you can do is that you can flaunt, you can vouch for your accomplishments in school. Do not worry about not having work-related accomplishments because all your curriculum, regardless of your curriculum, you're required to undergo an on-the-job training, immersion program, exposure program, and the like. So you can cite those accomplishments that show responsibility, dependability, cooperative spirit, and the like. That's the most important. It may sound generic, no, students, I understand that. It's not specific, discipline specific, but at least the point there is that uh, you have possessed those generic skills that in industries are also looking for from an applicant. So how are you going to write your resume? What would be the style and the important details that you are going to include in your resume? Of course, you have there your name, your address, your zip code, because if they're going to do a background investigation, they can like visit the area, your area of residence, visit your Purok leader, and validate whether you are really a resident in that area. Your contact number and your email address are also very important because these are the means to efficiently communicate especially if they want to give feedback, immediate feedback on the status of your application. All right. Your summary statement. Your summary statement is a gist of your potential, of your qualifications. It's akin to the second paragraph in your application letter. No? So it talks about your experience, work experience, and your skills, both soft and hard skills. Your work exposure, your work experience, if you have professional experience or your OJT or your internship program, you can cite that in your resume. Now, if you have your work experience or OJT or apprenticeship or internship, then you can mention what were your job responsibilities, because that's very important, that's significant. They will appreciate that. At least it will give them a background. It will give them an idea of the kind of exposure that you had, and then your accomplishments in school or even those outside in school. So if you have done something, if you have accomplished something, if you have achieved something, it speaks about your whole being, um, your initiative, your creativity, all right, your interest, your passion, and the like, all right. It also means that you are the kind of person that you do a lot of stuff. All right, you're not only sticking to one thing, but you're doing something that will hone you, that will develop you. All right, and then of course your education, your degree. All right, so this is how are you going to write a simple yet substantial and winning cover and winning resume, a resume that counts. Just remember this, a resume should answer this key question. One is that, what can you do for me? So it talks about your ability, your potential, no? What do you possess for you to be able to perform the job effectively and efficiently? So it talks about your skills, it talks about your experience, talks about your attributes and the like, your interest, no, your mindset, no, and everything, no, your desire, your innate characteristics, your ambition, what can drive you, no, to succeed. All right. uh Sometimes it's all about you, no, it's all about the way that you think, no, when you respond to questions, when you prepare your resume, it's sometimes brought about by the way you think, no, the direction, your perspective in life, your perspective in career, no. Is your experience relevant to my needs? Yeah, you have experience, but the thing there is that it does not connect to our requirements, no. In fact, one question this morning from our student, no, in KAID 500 is that what about if I have experience that are not directly related to the position that I'm applying at present, no. I mean, it's a relevant question. The thing there is that, yeah, it's okay, but the thing there is that you can cite that experience as long as you can connect, you can find connection of that experience to the position. Now, for example, if the exposure that you have previously when it comes to hard skills does not, no, uh, directly connected with the present position that you're applying, for sure there are soft skills that you have developed. For example, the sense of initiative, no, um, the ability to network with other people, the ability to follow instruction and work within the deadline, work within the timeline given to you. That is something already, no, I mean, those are generic skills, so yeah, it can count, no, it can be considered. Do you have the right education and credentials? What kind of person are you and where can I contact you? So these 7 things, when you write your resume, this will be considered as your checklist, no. Take a look at this, whether these questions uh, can be answered by the content of your resume. So what are the common skills that you need to highlight and you need to emphasize when you're, for example, writing your application letter and your resume, no? And even during job interview? Well, this is a survey, result of survey done by the Times Higher Education. So this is a global survey. So there were many companies who participated in the survey, no? So the result shows that communication skills tops the list. So when you say communication skills, it does not mean only the ability to speak in English or different languages, but communication skills refer to your ability to process idea and how you can communicate that, no? Or your ability to speak some issues, talk about some issues that are relevant, no? All right? Or your ability to talk with sense or to communicate with sense. You know what I mean? So, communication skills is beyond the ability to speak in English, but it's your ability, no, to communicate well, to talk various things, various topics. Ayan. Okay ka ba kausap, no? Hindi ka ba wangig kausap, 'di ba? Alam mo 'yon. May mga iba kasi mga wangig ka istorya, 'di ba? Kalitlag simang, no? Or others who cannot follow instruction. Tapos they do not know how to raise their concern, something like that, all right? The other one is problem solving. So it's your ability to solve problem. Ako, ang test ko nito sometimes, if I'm driving and if something happens, uh, the way that I'm driving, I'm on my way, no? I'm in the road. Like, how am I going to arrest the condition? How I'm going to manage the condition, the situation? If I have encountered something like naflatan ko, simba ko lang, no? Napalong ang makina or what, how am I going to deal the situation? So, it's your ability to process, no? Different alternatives, different ways of solving your situation. Your responsibility, no? Okay. If you're given the task, your ability to accomplish the task on your own. Eagerness to learn, no? The way that you ask question, that's how you can test a person's eagerness to learn, no? Your desire to investigate, to do research, no? That's eagerness to learn. Creative thinking, people skills or social skills. This one is important because it talks about your ability to network with other people. All right. Students, specifically, this refers to like check your bucket list of friends right now, no, and find out if how many of your friends are a bit mature and how many of those are professional, how many of those are of advanced age a bit, because if all your friends right now are of the same age, no? Ninyo, kapareho ng age ninyo, pareho ninyo estudyante, and some are lower than your status, no? Ibig sabihin nun, mga younger pa sa inyo, what you will learn from them, no? It's nice, I suggest that it's nice that you expand your network of friends, no? uh, Look for people who are more mature and they are professional because you will learn from them. You associate with people who are successful and who are ambitious, no? And that they are driven to grow because ano na, no, kanang there's a stickiness factor. There's something that, they can spread that virus of success in them. All right? 'Di ba? So, pero kung ang kaibigan mo, for sure nadinig niyo yung balita about last week, no, yung mga taga Davao na nahuli sa Pindasan, they're having a drug session there, o di ba? And then others hindi sila nahuli. Yung may isa pa doon na officer sa City Hall, no? So sinasabi nila na hindi daw sila kasama, ganyan ganyan. I mean, the thing there is that they're your friends. So tama talaga yung kasabihan na tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. All right? So you associate yourself with these people, 'di ba? So anong klaseng virus, anong klaseng environment ang nakukuha mo sa kanila? Of course, kung ano ang ginagawa nila, that is also the thing that you have learned from them, 'di ba? Kasi may tinatawag tayo na stickiness factor, no? 'Di ba? You stick with people whom you share the same interests, no? The same passion, the same penchant tree, 'di ba? Okay. So, ang suggestion ko, expand your network. Be friend with people who are a little bit mature and are successful in their career. Learn from them, okay? The other one is your personal skills, self-management, and technical skills, no? So, how to develop these skills? Of course, attending to school, no? Going to school, studying, reading, and the like, no? Huwag masyado magbabad sa mga gadget, no? Sa mga stuff, sa mga things na I do not know if it can contribute to your growth and development. Young people nowadays, just like you are so hooked with gadgets, no? You are so hooked in social media. You spend so much time doing marites thing, no, 'di ba? Makichika kayo, no? Mag-stalk agad kayo sa mga tao sa social media, what they're doing, no? Pagising niyo pa lang sa umaga, most of you, that's what you are doing, no? Dapat gawa mo na kayo ng house chores and the likes, no? So these are the some of the ways how are you going to develop these skills, okay? So important points to remember when applying during this pandemic. So if it happened that you're applying while we're still in this situation, then you emphasize telecommunication skills and productivity tools, no? Something that, bolster your skills and that reskilled you, no? So like, for example, telecommunication skills, for sure you're aware how to use Zoom, diba? Google Meet, may GoToMeeting pa, may Slack pa, diba? And then LinkedIn, ang gina-encourage ko sa inyo is that dapat may account kayo. There's a survey that employers prefer to hire applicant with LinkedIn account because LinkedIn compared to other social media platform like Facebook and Twitter. Sa LinkedIn kasi mga professional and business topics and discussions lang ang nandoon. Bawal yung mga maritesan lang, no? Like what you can find in Facebook or in Twitter, no? Na mga awayan, mga kahit ano-ano na lang ang mga sinasabi ng mga nasa social media. Alright? Okay. So it is expected that you're oriented with various telecommunication skills and productivity tools, no? Like for example, are you aware of how to use Notion? This is a productivity tools. When you organize your materials, no, your lessons, your stuff, then you can use Notion as a productivity tools. Aside from, you have your learning management system. All right? Because this is your generation. Alam nga naman ang mga 50s and 60s ang nakakaalam niyan. Kasi kayo nga ang tawag sa inyo is iGen di ba? iGen because you're in a digital technology. Kayo yung mga digital age, no? Showcase the ability to adapt to rapid changes. So, it is expected that your generation is agile and resilient because you have experienced the worst pandemic, the worst situation in the memory of mankind, no? So na-experience niyo 'yon. So hindi pwede sabihin natin that nag-deteriorate ka, no? I mean in terms of your thinking, in terms of your drive to grow, something like that, no? Or discouraged ka sa situation, something like that, no? Hindi pwede, no? Dapat agile ka. You have to show your grit, no? Your agility, no? Your ability to adjust to the situation. Dapat nakapag-adjust na tayo. Alright? Hindi pwede natin sabihin na wala. Kasi almost 2 years na, no? Ang situation natin. Okay. So, how long your resume be? 2 pages. No? It should not be more than 2 pages because HR, when they read your resume, they're busy. No? They're occupied with so many tasks to do. That's why do not write a resume that's more than 2 pages. Okay? What should I include in my personal data? Well, in general, avoid facts that may be used to discriminate against you. Just like height, weight, and religion, those are of no significance in your application. Should I put my photo in my resume? My answer there is that no. No, do not put your picture because of what importance, what relevance is the picture in you? Unless you're applying for a modeling career, no, a modeling profession, you're into a modeling profession, then you can do that. But if it's not, then there is no relevance. You will be judged unjustly in case you are not endowed with good looks. After all, we human beings, we have biases towards good looks, and if we're not endowed with good looks, sometimes we're judged based on that, no? So it's unjust, it's not fair on our part, no? Second is that probably if we're aware of that thing, that reality, then we do photoshopping. We do photoshopping to make us look good in the picture. And then kung si Benji pa na, meron sinasabi si Benji na reality versus expectation. O, diba? So, iba na yon, no? Okay? So I suggest, wag na lang i-include. No? Okay? Now, so another document that you are going to submit is your resume. No? So prepare a sample resume of your own. Let's proceed to interview. No? Successful interviewing. And this is the most dreaded part of your screening process. And why it's the most dreaded part? Because it's going to be a tension-filled experience. No? There are crocodiles and butterflies in our stomach that makes us so tense during the interview. But why is that so? Probably number one, because we are not prepared for the situation. So Sanchu Art of War says that preparation is half the battle. If you have prepared for that occasion, then you win half the battle. If you have strategized ahead of time, if you have laid down the possibility, like you have expected questions like this and that you have prepared yourself for the potential, for the eventualities, then you win half the battle. So it says here now. Why is it that job interview is very important in the application process? And why is it that it's the basis of hiring who among the applicants deserve to be hired for the position, di ba? Yun talaga ang basis ang interview, no? Hindi yung basihan na whether you can perform, whether you are the most qualified among the applicants. Hindi yun, no? So, because how candidates behave during the interview is often seen as an indicator of how they will perform. How you respond to questions, your non-verbal communication, your facial expression, no, your smile, the way you speak are indicators, no, of whether how are you going to perform if you will be hired for the position. You know what I mean? So that's why the interview is given the biggest weights, no? The most important value in the screening process. The better prepared you are, the less nervous you will feel and the more confident you will appear. So you should be confident. You should be spontaneous, no? You should not stammer during job interview, because if that will happen to you, no, you're not spontaneous, you stammer, all right? You're not confident looking in the interview, it will give an impression to the interviewer that you are not ready for the position and that you are not confident to perform the function, no? So alam mo yon, 'di ba? Nganong nakulbaan man ka, nganong di man ka maayo mo tubag, but pasabot ana, dili ka maayo mo trabaho ana nga trabaho, 'di ba? So dili gyud ikaw ang best person for the position. All right? So dapat preparado ka, you should be prepared so that you will feel less nervous and that you will confident in your appearance. The more you know about the purpose of the interview and the organization, the better your response to the questions, all right? Okay. So after all, you want to establish, you want to get to bind yourself with the organization. Therefore, it is expected that before you do that, you did a good research, no? A background investigation of the company and of the position. So it's just like, you guys, if you are interested sa isa ka girl, before you make some moves, 'di ba? You have to do background investigation first kung anong klaseng babae ito, ganyan-ganyan. Same thing with the ladies, no? Bago ninyo sagutin yung nanligaw sa inyo, dapat di yung punto na pagdating sa dilim, no, mapitok-pitok inyong mata mo, sulirap na inyong mata, di ba? Makalimot na mo sa inyong pangalan, all right? Dapat you also have to do the same thing. You do background investigation. Okay? So ganun 'yon, no? Ganun 'yon sa application. All right? So, during job interview, sabi natin, prepare kayo, i-anticipate ninyo yung mga possible and potential questions, di ba? So, ano ba talaga ang tinatanong ng mga hiring managers during job interview? One is that something about your ability to perform the job. Marunong ka ba mag-perform sa job? Ano ang talent mo? Ano ang skills mo? Ano ang training mo? Anong meron ka, no? Alright? What it is all about you? That we can say that you can perform the job. Now, if you have the ability to perform the job, the next sets of questions will be about your fitness. So your culture and personality, no? And then your motivation and enthusiasm. Connected yan, no? Kaya nga sabi natin, kaninang morning may question. What if mag-apply siya sa isang company na hindi siya pwede kasi sinasabi natin that you must be flexible enough when it comes to schedule, because some companies will ask you to work in the wee hours of the night. Others also will ask you to do overtime work like Saturday and Sunday, no? So the thing there is that ang question niya is that what if he's not available on Saturday and Sunday? It's fixed, no? May isa pang question that working overtime, his family situation prevents him from doing that. Diba? Yung mga ganon. I mean, let us be honest. The most important party in the application process is not you, the applicant, but it's the company. So you have to be transparent at the start of the interview. Tell the employer that you're not available working the wee hours or Saturday and Sunday because of so and so, because of so many, concerns and the like. But do not expect that you are the priority. You know what I mean? Well, unless there is something in you that other applicants do not possess, di ba? That they will really exclude, that they will really give special consideration in your case. You know what I mean? So it's all about your fitness, your personality, your culture, and your motivation and your enthusiasm. No? Your willingness to work regardless. No? Your past accomplishments and knowledge of the company. So that's why there's a question of why do you want to work in our company or why you're applying for this position. No? So you do not answer that because you're hiring, you're making announcement that you're looking for this and for that. That's why I'm here, diba? So that's not the proper way of giving response to that question. What you can do is that you can connect with the intention of the company with what you have. So kung ako ang applicant, sasabihin ko, why do you want to work in our company? So probably I would say that I have read your vision and mission statement, which states that. So you memorize the vision and mission statement of the company. And then you would continue by saying that, well, your vision and mission statement is in nexus with my philosophy statement in life, which also states that. So you create, no, a philosophy statement that is akin, no, that is anchored with the vision and mission statement of the company. So you see, I have read your vision and mission statement, which states that, and it's nexus with my philosophy statement in life, which also states that. So I believe that if I will be given the chance to work in your company and be hired in this position, I believe that I can contribute to the furtherance of your organization, and I see myself growing in this company over the years. Because there's a perfect match, right? With the direction of the company and with my philosophy statement in life. Something like that. Okay, you cannot do that if you have not done advanced research about the company. So generally, what employers most look for an interview, one is that can you do the job? So it talks about your skills, your talents, your competencies, and your abilities. No? And if you have the ability, the next question is about your interest, your motivation, and your right values to work. So yun na yung question na kung hindi ka available ng Saturday and Sunday, 'di ba? Let's go back to that. Will you do the job? 'Di ba? So, okay, qualified ka nga. But the thing there is that you're not the only applicant for the position. You have a baggage, no? You have concern. All right? Okay. So, hindi pwede 'yon. Pag-isipan mo, no? Will you fit in the company and its culture? So, it's something about your interpersonal skills, your adaptability, your flexibility, and your positive work attitude. Okay? How are you going to structure your answer? One is that kasi your difficulty lies sometimes in the structure, no? How are you going to structure? What will be your first line of answer, your second line, and how are you going to close your statement? No, something like that. So this is a suggested style. This is very simple. You answer the question in a simple and straightforward way, no? So what is the question all about? Is asking you, how do you see yourself in 10 years? Go straight to answering that. You give supporting evidence or cite a situation. Remember, this is not a beauty pageant. This is not a Miss World or Miss International or Miss Universe competition that you're given 40 seconds to respond to the question. You have leeways, no? All right? You have enough time to answer. So if you answer, visualize that by giving specific examples, okay? And then you wrap it up and restate your point. How is it relevant to the position? Okay? So if your question is like, how do you see yourself in few years? And this is how you picture out, how you envision yourself in that year. And how important is that envisioning, no? Picturing of yourself, painting of yourself of this picture to the position and to the company. All right? Dapat may structure kayo ba, no? The way you answer questions, no? Di kay going around the bush, maski unsa-unsa na lang ang mga ginayaw-yaw ninyo, no? Padung sa north, padung sa south, no? Where are we heading, 'di ba? So dapat clear ang structure ninyo. Okay? Okay. So some of the common job interview questions that will be raised during job interview is that tell me something about yourself. So don't get personal or long-winded. You prepare a 1 to 2 minute synopsis of what qualifies you and what makes you the perfect candidate for the job. Use what you know about the job to describe your strengths. Highlight your strengths, your accomplishments, and experiences relevant to that position. No? Okay. The second one is that what do you know about our company? I have emphasized this. Now, I've been emphasizing this because, as I said, you want to establish a commitment, no, a partnership, no. You want to be part of the organization. So, how sure are we? If I am the interviewer, if I am the hiring officer, how sure are we that you're the perfect person to fill in, no, that missing link in our organization. Okay? So you do a further study, you do an advanced research about the position and about the company. What is your greatest weakness? Well, actually, the interviewer is not interested in your weakness. Why is this question being asked? Because number one, they want to know whether you're the kind of person who realize that no one is perfect and that you're not perfect, no? That you are not arrogant, that you are not boastful. Others would say that I don't see any mistake and I don't see any weakness at all because I have reached this point of my career and of my life and believing that everything happens so perfectly. So there is nothing that's wrong, no, in my journey. Dili pwede na ingon ana na answer. Kasi nga, naagyud na, di ba? So, it's your ability to recognize that mistake, that weakness, and not only that, how you turn that weakness into something else to make you a better person, or what lesson you have learned out from that weakness. You follow? So for example, ako, ang weakness ko is that I am ang tawag nito, no, uh, I'm I don't like to be stuck in a traffic. No, I'm an impatient person. Okay, I'm an impatient person. So example of that is I don't like to be stuck in a traffic. So if I travel from my apartment going here in the office in the morning, it can ruin my entire day. You know, I lose my good mood. All right, I lose my energy and my desire to accomplish a lot. So because I don't like to be stuck in a traffic. I'm an impatient person. You cannot ask me to wait for so long. So because of that, I know that that is my attitude. So what I'm doing is that I wake up early, very early. I travel before others can block my way coming here to the office. You know what I mean? So and that's it. So I come to office on time or even before my time, and I will end my day very productively, no? Because my mood was not disturbed, something like that, no? So you identify what is your weakness and how you turn that weakness into something positive, or what lesson you have learned from that weakness. What did you do during the pandemic? So potential employers are interested in what put you in better position, no? So of course you're not idle, diba? We don't expect you to be idle even if there's there's quarantine, there's a less mobility, there's less travel and the like, right? But we would expect everybody to be creative, no, to have adjusted something, no, and grow, right? Grow because um sometimes things like this happen to our life, and the question there is that how fast you can adjust, no, to these challenging situations like this that we are in right now. Okay, all right. Your decision of going to school and continuing your study is something that you can be vouch of, that you can flaunt during job interview if you are being asked to that question. Yeah, despite the difficulty and despite the pandemic situation and sometimes some hardship that you have experienced, no, uh, you still pursue going to school because you believe that education cannot be delayed and your future cannot be delayed, cannot be set aside, no. So no matter what, you have decided to pursue your education. Do you have any question ito lang mga KN 500 students, no, do not let the interview ends without you asking any question. It's very important that you ask question, all right? Because it will show that you are interested, and it will show that you are enthusiastic, no, to get the job, to get the position, and to be part of our company, something like that, no. Just like your attendance today, you're participating the webinar. Don't say that after my talk, no, you will not ask any question. I mean, it will dismay me a lot. It will make me sad, no, 'di ba? Because it's the impression there is that you're not interested, no? You have not learned anything because you were not asking questions. So, ganon, no? 'Di ba? So just like in the job interview, nag-wonder pa kayo pag apply ninyo, hindi kayo natanggap. It's simple, hindi naman kayo nagtanong, 'di ba? So asking question is also an important indicator whether you are hireable or not, no? Can you or have work remotely, no? Are you willing to work in a remote environment, like for example work from home, because that's a situation right now, no? So even before pandemic, some of you probably are working in a call center or working an online job. That's already a remote type of work, diba? So can you do that? I think okay naman, no, because it talks about your flexibility, no? All right. So there's a survey done by PMAP, Personnel Managers Association of the Philippines. PMAP is an organization of HR managers in the country. And they were asked what are some of the common interview mistakes, most common interview mistakes, no, of the applicants. And these are the list. I'm sharing this to you so that you will avoid. You will not do this during job interviews. So answering cell phone or texting. So when you're in a job interview, I suggest that you turn off your phone or you turn your phone into a silent mode. Okay. You dress appropriately, no? Because even if the job interview is done online in a remote virtual platform, still it can be seen, no? Like others, may nakikita ako dito na nagasando lang. Hindi ko alam ano ba talaga proper way, no? So kahit nasa bahay lang kayo, no? Kung ako ang nasa sitwasyon ninyo, dapat magbihis din ako para feeling ko din na estudyante ako or what. Although minsan, nakakapagod din, but iba din yung feeling na bihis ka, alam mo yon, naliligo ka, tapos nakasuklay ka, no, sunblock ka or what, no, 'di ba? So, iba din ang feeling na ganoon. Parang physically you are prepared for the situation. Kesa kung hindi ka nakabihis, no, parang kasarap ano man maghiga or what, no, lalo na nasa tayo, unholy hour. Appearing disinterested, no? Appearing arrogant, appearing unprepared. So take note of this list, no? Chewing gum. Well, why you're doing that? Possibly because that's your way of managing your tension. You're making the obvious. You're showing the obvious, no? Kaya ka nga nag-chewing gum because alam natin na natitense ka. And bakit ka natitense? O, di ba? So, dapat hindi ka look tense, no? Okay? So, avoid that, no? Tsaka pangit tingnan para kakambing, no? Nag-ausap-usap. Not providing specific answers. So, feeling mo nasa Miss World ka, no? Di ba? So, as I said, when you respond to question, dapat meron kang specific example. Okay? Gaya nung sabi ko na pag anong weakness mo, anong example nun? Anong situation that best describe your answer, all right? And not asking good questions. So you really have to ask questions during job interview. This is the last topic that I'm going to talk about, social media etiquette. This is important because these potential employers of yours will do background investigation using the social media. And in fact, I suggest that create kayo ng LinkedIn account, no? Kasi nga, mas preferred nila yung may LinkedIn account kesa sa Facebook lang at saka Twitter, no? Okay? So, social media, no? Things that you need to avoid because whatever you have posted there speaks something about yourself. So may tanong kanina, morning, ang tanong niya is that, do you think companies have the ability to make delineation of my personal life as an applicant to the professional requirement of the position? Ang ganun ang kanyang question, no? Ma-understand ko dahil yung kanyang background, bachelor's degree, no? Kasi minsan sa social media, kahit ano-ano ng mga sinusulat natin, minsan, no? Lahat ng feelings natin, lahat ng mahinanakit natin, anong iniisip natin, anong dismayado tayo, no? Or problema natin, or galit tayo sa tao, galit tayo sa friends, galit tayo sa mga ano nakikita natin, sinusulat natin sa social media. Where in fact, it should not be. No? Lahat na lang binulatlat mo na ang sarili mo sa social media. No? So yun yung sabi ko. Well, no one can prevent you from doing that, but you cannot also prevent the potential impression that your employer will think of you based on what you have posted in the social media. You know what I mean? So yung parang ganon, no? Kakuyaw ni John Joshua Joseph, Faudia, no? 4 na J talaga ang pangalan mo, no? Grabe, no? John Joshua Joseph Faudia. Inubos mo na lahat ng J. Anyway, topping the list is writing negative posts. So as I said, wag as much as possible. Kasi, di ba tayo, I do not to kayo, iba talaga, we don't like to associate, we don't like to go with people who are so negative in their perspective in life, di ba? Who think negatively, no? Di ba? Parang palagi na lang pasan ang mundo. Ako ayaw ko yun. I do not know sa inyo, no? So, we don't like to associate people who are like that. So same thing, pag makita mo yung tao na gano'n ang post sa social media, we think that that's how he is. Gano'n siya mag-isip, no, 'di ba? Second is ungrammatical post or use of derogatory language, no? And third, make your posts all about you, no? Your OOTD, your TikTok, no? Your food porn, all about you. So ano ang impression nun? Gusto mo ang spotlight palagi nasa iyo. Diba? It's a social media. You have to use the social media to discuss valuable things like social issues, political issues, environmental issues, about sa baha, diba? Ano ba ang solusyon natin dyan sa baha, diba? Or if you have read a book, then what is your review about the book? Or if you have watched a movie, no? Then what is your review about that film or about that series, di ba? Why don't you do that, no? Something that you have raised the level of discussion in the social media other than, just posting your TikTok and, di ba? I mean, stress ka? Okay? Anong mga inaanak man yung mga post? Okay? All right. So I think that's all for our component B talk. I hope that you learned something. So I'll stay for some questions. I'll stop sharing. Time for you to ask questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Ray. So you may raise your hand, no, if you want to speak, no, and to ask question for our discussion this afternoon. And you may also chat, no, your question if there's a problem with your connection, so that we can still answer. I mean, Sir Ray can answer the question. So you may write your answer in our chat box, and then also you may raise your hand so that we can recognize you, and then we will let you speak. No, and then so you introduce yourself, you introduce your name and also your college, and then your question. So students, sige na. Ask question. Sir, wala sila question.
Kung unsa ka aggressive o ka-active ang morning session, no, maupod ka uga ang hapon.
All right, but still here's a question, sir, from Kayam Princilio, BSA, Accountancy. Is it ethical to ask the salary range?
it's your privilege to know how much you are supposed to receive from the position if you will be hired. But you have to ask that outside the interview because it's also your responsibility to know, no? I mean, privilege mo yan, di ba? So I suggest that you ask that prior to your application process so that you have a better idea whether to pursue or not. Whether the pay is to your liking, is to within your expectation or not, no? Do not do that during the interview. Okay? That's my suggestion.
Okay, question from Jaisal Relion, sir. She's already 28 daw and has no job experience. And do you think it can hinder her knowing that most company have age limit and
Wala
wants
naman.
experience?
Wala naman age limit, no? Kasi 'di ba, meron naman tayong anti-discrimination law
Yeah.
from both our local government and even in the Department of Labor. So there is no age limit. At saka 28 kabata pa noon, no? 'Di
Kaya pa
ba?
yan.
So oo, kabata pa noon. So okay lang. The thing there is that what made you decide to pursue schooling, 'di ba? So ang maganda sa iyo is that you have good experience. You are more mature compared to the rest of the applicants who are at your same background, academic background. You know what I mean? So you have more experience in life, and that experience probably can make you a stronger person, a more mature person. No, you have a mature perspective probably in your career and in your life, diba? So that's your edge there, no? Okay. So don't worry about that. I mean, 28 is still young. There might be some delays in your graduation, probably brought about by some circumstances, but you highlight that that thing did not discourage you, no? That thing did not discourage you, but that thing uh, push you to pursue your dream, di ba? So ganun lang. And as I said, highlight on your experience. Highlight on you have more maturity compared to those who are 21, 22, no?
All right. So another question, sir, from Crystal K. Otida. So you mentioned it is important to ask questions. So what are the common questions that we can possibly ask during the interview?
One is that you have to study the requirements of the position. What is the position all about? And one potential question that you can raise there is that how long is the honeymoon period usually provided by the company for new hires? No? What do you mean by honeymoon period? You know, pag bago ka kasi, meron pa yung mga period of adjustment na okay lang muna ikaw magkamali, tanga-tanga ka pa konti, di ba? Hindi ka pa makapag-deliver kung anong expected sa'yo. You know what I mean? Kasi bago ka pa no? So posible, you can ask how long is the honeymoon period. The second one is that, is there any potential or is there any possibility for new hirees to be given also an equal opportunity for training and development program of the company? Because you have to, after that, no, you have to be so concerned about that because that's one area where you can grow, you can advance, no, for yourself, diba? So is there any privilege for new hires like you to be given an equal opportunity also to be sent to trainings and seminars, to participate in various programs that will hone you better, that will bolster your capability and your competencies? Questions like that, you know, those are professional sounding questions, something that will give an impression to your potential employer that, hey, this applicant really is making his homework a lot, no, 'di ba? Okay.
Okay, another question, sir, from John Nicole Castro. Which is better daw to use when applying a job? A CV or a resume?
You don't use CV because CV is only used for someone who have achieved so much in his or her career, no? You use resume, okay? That's why one different thing between resume and CV is the number of pages. Resume is short in terms of number of pages. CV has more pages, di ba? Uh, um, CV is used for, as I said, those who have accomplished a lot. So that's a different thing. There is no compromise there that which you are going to use, whether CV or resume. You use resume. That's why in our lecture, we're using the term resume and not CV.
Okay, another questions are from Felipe Mecarla, a BSBA student. What if you really don't have any experiences and less skilled individual which are not related to the job you are applying? How could we still apply for a job if you also considered honesty and confidence?
All programs require students to undergo OJT, no? So your OJT can be counted already as your experience. Kaya nga may OJT, no? So kung wala pa kayo sa OJT, magkakaroon kayo. Kasi nga required yan sa program ninyo, no? So that's already a good experience. Second is that if you have a professional experience wherein the hard skills are not directly related to the requirement of the position, I already mentioned that take a look at the soft skills, no? Ano bang attributes, ano bang characteristics ang na-develop mo doon? Like for example, noon mahiyain ka, no? Shy ka masyado, pero nung na-expose ka sa ganitong trabaho, 'di ba? You have developed the ability to mingle with other people, 'di ba? Rub elbow with other people, and if this attribute is necessary to your position that you are applying right now, then you can highlight that, no? Initiative, no? Noon kulang ka sa initiative, ngayon na-learn mo ito sa dati mong trabaho, so that's also very important. So you can highlight that. Take a look at what you have learned. Pwede na natutulog ka sa kangkungan, meron kang experience sa ganitong trabaho, pero wala ka, no? Wala lang. I mean, I do not know. Dapat ano ka, no? Dapat conscious ka. Dapat you have keen. You are a keen observer, no? While you are there, ano bang matutunan ko dito? Ano bang malalaman ko dito? Ano bang something makukuha ko? Meron bang value added thing na makuha ako out from this exposure other than, makakuha ako ng pera, makasweldo ako. Other than that, ano bang future ang makuha ko dito? Diba? So pag-aralan mo, no? Tingnan mo. Sige.
Right, another question from Denzel Concon, sir. Good day, sir. The question, why should we hire you, still confuses me. Can you suggest something on how we should answer it?
That's why I have been telling you, I have been emphasizing about you have to study well the company and the position and bank on that. That will be your benchmark in constructing your answer, So, ano ang requirement? Ano ba ang hinahanap? So you have to ask from people, you have to do advanced research, no? If you're familiar with the position kasi nga related sa pinag-aralan mo, alamin mo, like ako ang degree ko is into economics, no? So nung nag-aral ako ng economics, klaro sa akin kung saang direction ako mag-work, no? Gusto ko talaga mag-work sa Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, gusto ko mag-work sa Statistics Office, gusto ko mag-work sa Planning Office kung nasa LGU ako. So nung estudyante pa ako, talagang pinag-aaral, ano bang mga work na nasa Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas? Nasa Statistics Office or nasa Planning Office? Ano bang mga work dyan? Anong klaseng organization sila? So yung ganon, alright? So why do you want to work in our company or why do you want to work in this kind of job, di ba? So alam ko na, no? Alam ko na ang magiging sagot because ito ang kailangan nila and I have to match my answer with what they are expecting from an applicant, di ba? Pareho lang good yan, simple. Anong nanligaw ka, no? Kung lalaki, nanligaw sa isang babae. Anong gusto mo sa isang lalaki? Diba? O anong gusto mo sa isang manliligaw mo? Ano yung nanligaw sa iyo, sasagutin mo, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. So pwede mo utusan yung kaibigan mo. Tanungin mo nga siya, ano ba mga gusto niya, no? Anong gusto niya sa isang tao, ganyan, 'di ba? So pag lumalapit ka na, no, manliligaw ka na, mag-a-ask ka na, yun na ang ifo-flaunt mo, di ba? Yun na ang ibigay mo na information sa kanya na, ganito good ako, di ba? Ito yung mga ginagawa ko. Example, ito yung natapos ko, ito yung nagawa ko, ito yung na-accomplish ko, di ba? Kasi yun ang gusto niya, no? Alam mo, yung mga likes ko din, meron tayong mga similarities eh. Dami nating similarities, di ba? So, masagot mo lang yan kung pag-aralan mo ang company at ang position. Sige. So, depende yan.
Alright. Another, sir, is from Therese Regis, BSBA. What's the best advice can you give to those applicants who lack communication skills?
Practice. Kaya nga maganda nasa ang Kain 500 ino-offer pa natin ngayon, no? While estudyante pa kayo. Practice ang gawin. So yung magsigikuri-kuri og cellphone, technology, ganyan, will not help you a lot, no? That's why my friends will surely notice me that if I'm in a convo, if I'm in a dinner, if I'm having a coffee with my friends, I don't use my gadget because importante sa akin ang presence, importante sa akin ang topic na pinag-uusapan natin, no? So let's communicate, let's discuss things like that. That's number one. Number two, well, there are many videos. Ako medyo I'm on my advanced age, ang layo na ng edad ko sa inyo, no? Pero ang tinitingnan ko na mga videos, nanonood ako ng mga lecture videos sa YouTube, no? Na nakikinig ako ng mga podcast videos, no? Yung mga ganon. I read a lot of books, especially na COVID ako, COVID survivor ako, at pag COVID survivor ka, ang isang long-term effect no, magkakaroon ka ng brain fogging, no? Minsan magkakaroon ka ng loss of words. So I need to do that, no? Yung magbasa ako because reading and thinking are form of mental exercise. So if you don't read and if you don't think and if you don't watch educational videos, no, instructional videos and the like, you are not doing mental exercise. So over time, magiging idle ang brain mo, no? Bakit you lack communication? Because wala kang stock of ideas. You cannot communicate. You follow that? O ano ngayon ang sasabihin mo kung wala kang alam? Kung wala kang pinasok dito, 'di ba? So, magbasa ka, makinig ka, mag-learn ka, no? Huwag sobra marites, no? Pwede naman marites, pero yung mga verified info, all right? So that you can communicate. And then you look for some people, uy, coffee tayo, or let's meet somewhere, let's have some tea, di ba? Or let's go to Jollibee, pagpunta kayo ng Jollibee or McDo. Let's talk something that's nice. Isa lang naman ang basihan doon no? Kung nag-uusap kayo ng tao, 'di ba? Pinag-uusapan niyo ang tao, 'yun ang very marites, 'di ba? Pero kung idea sa mga pinag-uusapan ninyo, something like, what can you say about flooding that's happening in Davao City? It has been happening, every end of the quarter of the year. What the government has done to arrest the situation. Something like that, I mean, meron kayo magsama sa iyo kung gano'n ang topic mo, di ba? So it's about communication, no? Di ba? So yung ganun lang. Basta kayo, manood kayo ng videos, no? You will learn from that. I mean, you limit your social media exposure, you will not get anything from that. You do TikTok, what you will get out from that is just showing that you're stressed. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but do not spend so much time doing those stuff. It will not help you grow, no? Okay? Sige. Masyado emphatic ako with all the emotion when I respond to your question.
Very emotional, sir.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, let's go to the next question, sir, from Glenn Miljoy Maldo, a BSBA student. Is it okay po but to tell the specific reason why I quit my previous job?
Okay. That's a challenging question, no? Ganito na lang gawin mo. Ang standard rule nun is that do not say anything bad. Yeah. You, to yourself, and to your previous company. Okay? Kung meron mang bad blood na nangyari. Yeah, bad blood na nangyari. Don't say those, no? I mean, you can just say that you have realized that you want to change career, and you have seen potential in this company. That's why you're here, no? You leave that company because the time has come for you to leave, and you have personal and professional reasons, no, that you want to keep to yourself, and that's it, no? So ganun lang ang pagkasabi mo, no? Very professional ang pagkasabi mo, because if you're going to say something bad to yourself and to the previous company, it will also give an impression that if you will be hired and you will leave that company, you will also do the same thing. So we will not hire you, 'di ba? In short, kuha kami ng bato na ipukpok na mo sa among ulo, di ba? So we will not do that, all right? So ganun na lang, no? There are personal and professional reasons. That's why I leave my previous company. And I'd rather keep that to myself. But it was also a good experience. What I value most was the good experience that I had with my previous company. So yung mga milit-milit, pwede na na.
Okay. So we also encourage no students who can use the parang their microphone. Okay, para hindi lang si Sir Ray lang yung nag
Ikaw, correct. Na-notice na ako.
Diba?
Unfair.
So aside from na nag-chat kayo, baka someone
Marvin,
also
naman
from the
nakumpirma.
students no to also talk, okay, para makarespond gamay si Sir. Okay, anyway sir, another question from Neil Kinechi P. Iwamoto. Ayan, a BSBA student, and how do we handle now during the interview if the interviewer is racist? And do you have any advice to it if we encounter that in a business world?
Ano lang yan, ang masasabi ko lang dyan, ano yan, fire and water. So if you think that the approach of the interviewer is very fierce, very fire, then dapat ang response mo dyan, water approach. So at the end of the day, it's about how you manage the situation. So if you think that the interviewer is very unprofessional in his or her approach, you have to maintain your compose, no, and proper decorum. All right. So if you think that it's too much, then do not respond to the persons anymore. No. But my suggestion is that you should know how to manage. No, manage that professionally. So kung unprofessional siya, wag ka din magiging unprofessional. Wag ka magalit. No? Although galit ka na, malagot ka na, lami na kay tukon, something like that. No? But you still continue to manage yourself, no? Professionally. Ganun lang, Neil. No?
Maintain
Unless you
composure.
can cite an example. No? Kung may example ka, then we can like tailored fit my answer to the example that you are going to give, unless you have experience, specific experience that you want to share to us.
Okay, another question, sir, from Cheryl Mandahay. Does having a tattoo affect the job interview?
There are companies that they are not open to that, no? So well, I also suggest that it will form part of your advanced investigation. No?
Yeah.
For example, if your criminology, diba? I doubt that's also sensitive to them. No? They're very sensitive about that. No? So you have to do advanced research whether this company, they're okay if you have tattoo or you don't have tattoo at all. I mean, you know, so do an advanced research. And if the company is not open to that idea and that you wanna pursue your application, then you have to prepare a good justification of your tattoo. No? Right?
Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah.
What would be the safest answer if the employer will ask you about the salary, sir? Your expected salary.
What's your name and then your course?
Saint Eridao po, sir. From Case Department, AB English.
Okay. So your question is about if the employer will ask you about salary?
Yes, sir. What would be the safest answer?
Yeah,
ever?
actually, it's a test. No, it's a test. One is the test whether you are there for salary or for what, no? Remember, hindi naman sa minamaliit ng mga companies, kayo mga new entrants, no, in the world of work. The thing there is that which is more important to you, no? Getting the salary or getting the experience. So if I will be asked that question, my answer would be um, how much you want to receive if you will be hired for the position. Ang sagot ko dyan is that I am for sure, ma'am, sir, that the company, the fact that you have your permit to operate, you are compliant to government requirements and regulations, specifically when it comes to the requirements set by the Department of Labor, when it comes to wages and remunerations and giving benefits to your employees. So I believe that you are compliant to that, no? Second is that, so ang ganong klaseng sagot is pakonsensya yan. No? Pakonsensya yan na, hindi ito basta-basta kasi knowledgeable siya, no? About, di mo good alam specific law, no? Pero at least nakapag-cite ka ng government, di ba? May Department of Labor ka, something like that, no? Second line of answer mo is that I'm here because what's more important is that I want to have praxis of the things that I have learned from the university where I earned my degree. And if I will be given the chance to work in this position and be assigned of this particular job, it will hone me best. No? So it will expand my experience, and it will make me a better person for my chosen career. Third, konsensya uli, no? I also believe that if I'm going to perform beyond what is expected of me, I believe that the company will not hesitate, no, to reward that expectations, that performance beyond expectation. Okay? So, maisip ngayon ng interviewer na alam talaga niya na okay, follow tayo, 'di ba? And second is that because questions like that is just a test of your ability whether you are there for salary only or for not, no, 'di ba?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Noted.
Okay.
Right. Another person not to talk. Sherry Joy Mante. Yes, Queen.
Yes po. Good afternoon po, sir.
Good afternoon.
Question lang na ako, sir. Ask lang po about sa what proper etiquette that you can advise to us to be more effective in our character towards finding jobs and how to handle if we fail to be qualified on the said position offer po.
Mindsetting yan, no? Because it doesn't follow that at first attempt, ikaw talaga ma-hire. I also experienced that. I have experienced a lot, no? I have submitted many applications. I've been through so many interviews in my early days, no? In my younger days. But again, it's about how you learn from that experience. So take a lesson or two, no? What went wrong? Why I was not considered? So ako noon, I have a mentor, no? He's like older by almost a decade, and he had good exposure compared to mine, and he's really very spontaneous person. He's really intelligent and smart and the like. So every time I applied for a position, then I go to him and shared to him that this was my answers during job interview. And so he shared that, there's something wrong the way that you respond to that question. I doubt if you will be considered for that position because of your answer. So you have to learn, no? You have to learn, and it's a process, no? It's not automatically that at the first try you will get it. So you have to learn from your experience. The more that you get into that experience, the more that you gain confidence. So you mentioned about your attitude, the proper attitude, the confidence that will be developed over time. That just don't be discouraged, no? All right. So learn from your experience, learn from what you have been going through, and ensure that the next time around that you will get into it, you will perform better. No, you will surpass your performance. For sure, there's something that awaits you, something better. No, okay.
Okay, another
Thank you
Marlo
po.
Dandan. Thank you so much, Sino nga yun?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm
Yeah,
Marlo
good
Dandan
afternoon. Yeah, Marlo.
from College of Engineering.
Mhm.
Nabanggit mo kanina, sir, na meron tayong anti-discrimination law, and kanina sa presentation, yung kailangan i-avoid namin yung ma-discriminate kami. Gaano ba kalawak yung anti-discrimination law, sir? Especially or specifically sa yung religion. Kasi kami kasi, sir, mga Seventh-day Adventists, is yung hindi kami na-hire kasi
dahil Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Well, actually, yeah, that's again in your possession, no? So you have to, kung pwede lang sana may mga listahan ang ating church, no, na sinasabi na Seventh-day Adventist friendly companies. You know what I mean? Ibig sabihin, these are companies that take into consideration also the spiritual needs of their employees. So like, for example, they don't really require, if they're open on Saturday, then they don't require their employees or Seventh-day Adventists to work, or maybe pwede naman bayaran ng ibang araw, something like that, no? So ang punto ko doon is that tayo na lang alamin natin, no? Kasi although hindi nila sinasabi yon, pero meron ding ibang company. Meron nga isang company na malaki, no? I will not mention it, no? Pero malaki, no? It's in the top 10 list of the largest in the Philippines. They have preference of hiring a particular religious sect. So if you're not from other sect, they will not consider you, no? So parang mga ganun, but it's not apparent. It's not an open thing, no? So that's why pwede natin alamin. We can like ask from our colleagues or from our coach, ang tawag doon, no? Mga kasamahan sa church, kung ano yung mga companies, saan sila connected. So siguro yun ang ating i-consider, no? Alright? Although sabi naman talaga sa law, no, dapat bawal, like age, religion, gender, and the like, no? Hindi lang naman ang tayo na nasa religious sect ang may problema sa mga ganun. Meron mga silent provision or silent practices din itong ibang mga companies, which we cannot blame them, no? Hindi naman natin sila pwede, we cannot go after them, no, in that regard. Okay? Sige.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Pwede mag-additional.
Sige, follow-up question. Okay.
Regarding doon, sir, na Seventh-day Adventist, and for example, tatlo kami applicants, but sa aming tatlo, ako yung may experience na related sa position na in-applyan namin, tapos alam ko na yung workflow kasi yung experience ko kasi related talaga sa yung position na in-applyan namin. So, do I have the chance ba, sir? Mataas ba yung chance ako na ma-hire?
At the end of the day, it's not about your belief, no? Unless you're applying for a church, ano ba tawag doon, managed organization, no? Halimbawa, Seventh-day Adventist ka, tapos nasa ibang religious sect yung organization na yon. So unless ganon. Pero kung hindi naman, of course, the fact that you are the most qualified, no, they should hire. So you have a bigger chance. That's your competitive advantage, no? Your qualification gives you the competitive edge. And your religion, please do not think, no, for the rest of us, whether you're from different religious sect, not only for SDA, no, do not think that our religious belief is a weakness, no, is something that prevent us from getting a good job, a good career in the future, because that should not be the thinking of the companies, no. The agencies, especially in the government, hindi pwede ganon ang thinking ng mga government agencies. Government law nga yun, di ba? So, dapat sila mismo ang number one na mag-follow nun. The more with private, kasi kadali lang i-go after ang mga private companies, no? So, hindi. They should hire someone based on qualifications and based on experience. So, hindi talaga, wag natin isipin yan, because it's not only SDA, but even other sectors. Hindi pwede na yun ang hadlang para ma-hire, no? That's unfair. That's unjust. Magabaan sila, anak.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Okay, we have Jim Paul Cabardo.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Jim.
I'm from College of Business Administration. Curious ang ba ako, sir, ba? Do backer system really exist? How does backer system affect the applicants, sir?
Hindi ko masyado na-emphasize yan. This morning na-emphasize ko yan, no, yung topic na yan. It's about, ganito kasi yan, no? It's not enough what you know, but ang backer kasi, yun kasi ang term na gamit natin, but yan kasi yung whom you know what I mean? So, why is it that sometimes a person who can vouch your qualification also can help you get the job is because it will give an impression that you have the ability, you have a good networking skills. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo kanina na it's nice that meron kang person na kilala, mature, professional, who can speak something about you, all right? A person who is reliable, a person of good character, a person of integrity, a person who is believable, 'di ba? Hindi pwede ang person na 'yon ng ka-level mo, 'di ba? So yun yung sinasabi nating backer. Hindi naman siya backer because at the end of the day, no one can dictate supposed to be the company or the hiring officer who should be hired among the applicants. But why is it that there's someone backing that person is because we need someone to vouch the reliability and someone who will validate the information and the answers that you have provided during the interview. That this person is okay, he's really good, okay yan siya. Magaling yan siya, kilala ko yan siya, we're friends, or nakapag-work yan siya sa ganitong company at may connection ako sa ganyang company, no? Yung ganon, no? So kaya backer in short because someone who can back up your credentials, some information that you have mentioned. So there's a person who can vouch, who can tell that those information are true and real. You understand, Jim? So it's not bad. It's not bad. The thing there is that kaya nga, as early as now, you start expanding your network. Bakit hindi kayo makapag-friends ng someone who is more professional and who is more mature, di ba? So yung ganon, dapat merong reliable person na makapag-vouch sa inyo. Kasi hindi ka unless kilala ninyo yung nag-i-interview sa inyo, no? Yung company na yun, okay lang. Pero kung hindi niyo kilala, wala kayong kakilala sa ganyang organization, who else will say something nice about you, diba?
So it's not being biased, sir, diba?
No, hindi. It's not negative. But the thing there is that even if you are qualified, but who will say that, yeah, it's true, magaling siya, no? O, yung ganun. So of course, ako hiring officer, meron akong kasangga, meron akong kakampi, meron akong taong pwedeng balikan in case itong tao na ito na gina-back up niya is not good, no? Hindi nag-perform or iba pala siya, no, sa nakasulat sa kanyang resume. So balikan ko yung tao na yun, at least meron siyang anong tawag dito, guarantor. Kung sa loan pa na siya, di ba, when you apply for loans in the cooperative or in the bank, you need guarantor because in case the main applicant of the loan cannot settle now the account, hindi siya makabayad, puntahan ko yung guarantor. Of course, ang guarantor dapat mapera, kung sa co-op siya, may malaki siyang capital share. Ganon din sa application, sa job application, no? So, ang tao na dapat mag-back up sa iyo, someone of reliable, someone who has accomplished a lot, who have reached higher level, higher accomplishment in their career. Okay, Jim?
Okay, sir. Thank you po, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, another questions here sa chat, sir. Almarie Manlukob. Being one of the first batches that experienced virtual practicum, can you give us a piece of advice on how we will be going to justify our experience in applying for a job?
Actually, kayo mas nakakaalam yan. Anong na-learn niyo sa inyong virtual practicum, di ba? Magandang tanong yan, no? Maganda. That's the first time that I encountered that question. But to be honest with you, kayo mismo, ano ang na-learn ninyo sa virtual exposure ninyo? Meron ba? Dapat meron, no? And siguro on the part of the university, that's one thing that we have to take a look at. Hindi kasi ako taga-academics, no? So, hindi ko alam kung na-revise ba ang inyong mga policies and handbooks and manual, OJT manuals when it comes to being exposed to virtual practicum, no? So, ano ang na-learn ninyo? Of course, you have seen, ano bang course niya? Wala, hindi niya mention. Anong course? Wala, bench?
Wala, sir.
BS Nutrition and Dietetics po, sir.
BS Nutrition and Dietetics. So, anong klaseng exposure yon? Halimbawa, yung pag-identify ng mga calories, calorie content ng mga food. Halimbawa lang, hindi ko alam kung tama ako, no? At least nakikita ninyo ngayon because ang exposure ninyo is actual industry, di ba? Sa school kasi, mga books, mga lesson lang ang nakukuha natin. And with your connection doon sa industry, even if it's done in a remote virtual modality, ang nakakausap ninyo is someone who is really exposed in the industry. So ngayon, nababalidate ninyo yung mga nakasulat sa book, di ba? Yung natutunan ninyo sa classroom, nung time na na-expose kayo at nakikita ninyo, nakakausap ninyo yung person from the industry. That is really true. So things that you have learned in school are validated even if it's done in the remote virtual platform because that's the intention of taking practicum, no? Exposure, di ba? Yung theory sa school to praxis, okay? Yung application. No? So, nababalidate ninyo that, yeah, it's real. It's true. Someone from the industry will learn someone from the industry. We heard an industry expert telling us that these are really the things, no, about nutrition and dietetics. Okay. Gusto ko good yun, nutrition and dietetics. Magandang course yun.
Thank you po, sir.
Yeah, that's good.
Right, so we have Sherry Joy Mante. What's your question?
Kuan lang sir about sa clarification lang sir. And opinion lang nimo sir sa kaning lack of opportunities po. Like for us po as political science student, we don't have any kuan sir like wanted political science job opportunities.
Limited job opportunities.
Yes po, limited opportunities and we don't have any opportunities ahead nga kanagay naka-fit job me dito which is ang among expertise nga among ma-share dito aside from government working the government pero sometimes sir ma-discriminate me for having this kind of courses sir. So opinion lang po sir about this lack of opportunities sa among mga expertise.
Actually, hindi naman din siguro, no? Kasi konti lang naman ang mga political science, ang daming business administration. Klaro ang business administration, but ang daming nakapag-enroll sa business administration like finance and marketing. So, kung merong klarong opportunity sa tingin ninyo, ang marketing graduate at saka ang finance graduate, ang dami din nilang mag-work sa industry, mag-compete, no? So depende lang din yan kung anong career direction ang gusto ninyo. Ano ba ang intention ninyo at first nung nagkuha kayo ng political science? Like in my case, I started before I finished my economics, I started AB English. So nag-AB English ako dahil gusto ko mag-work sa mass communication industry and sa probinsya lang naman ako, so walang mass comm na course. So I had no choice but to take up English. Nung nag-English ako, ang direksyon na patutunguhan ko sa tingin ko was to work in journalism. So that's why I engaged myself in school publication for me to bolster my ability about journalism and the like, alright? So depende ngayon kung ano ang career direction na nakikita ninyo. Kung political science kayo, there are many opportunities in the government, diba? Kasi you are trained about politics, about governance, whether local or national in structure. And there are many hirings in the government. And in fact, if you're going to look at the hirings in the government, there's mention about political science, economics, something like that, no? So those are the preference, unless the job hiring is related to technical skills. Like for example, kahit government yan, meron naghahanap ng statistician, ng accounting, ng engineering, o yun, mga technical courses yun, di ba? Pero karamihan sa bakante sa government, political science, no, 'di ba? Economics, yung mga ganun na kurso. So, do not lose hope that there's a lack of opportunity for political science graduate, no? That's one. Number two is that ano ang alternative mo, no? Kung saan ka after graduation, all right? So, meron ka mga listahan sa industries. I remember nung fourth year ako, no? Kahit nung second year pa ako sa ROTC namin, I have this group of friends. May ano kami, parang may bond, no? You know, may ganun kami that pag graduate namin, magsama-sama talaga kami mag-apply ng work. All right? There were like 5 of us. So we want that together we will apply, hanap kami ganito ganyan, no? So ano yung mga companies na gusto namin puntahan? Sa government, ito yung aming potential na puntahan. Kung private kami, ito din ang aming mga potential na puntahan. Alam mo yon? So sa isip nyo pala ngayon, kahit hindi lang ikaw, Sherry, no? Kahit yung iba, dapat nasa consideration nyo na ngayon, nasa psyche nyo na ngayon, kung ano yung mga potential companies, kung saan kayo pwede mag-work. 'Di ba? Saan? Because at least as early as now, pag-aralan nyo na kung meron ba. Kung wala, then meron kayo listahan next. Ito na ang patutunguhan ninyo. No? So don't lose hope. Huwag mo isipin na wala naman potential. Meron. No? Tingnan nyo lang yung mga high wings, no? Yung mga job vacancies na pinopost ng ganitong companies. Lamig yun ang na to ani ko ram kay.
Thank you po, sir.
Sige. Thank you.
Pepito sir asking na is it necessary ba jud to speak in English during an interview?
Ay, naman din ni si Ramram. Oh. Okay. Is it necessary? Ganito yon. What is your benchmark? Your benchmark is the language used by the interviewer. So if the interviewer speaks in English, then at minimum you speak in English. Do not outsmart the interviewer. So if he or she speaks in English, do not speak in Spanish or in French to show that you know different languages. But what about English? And if you want to speak in vernacular, well, if you think that you cannot speak well in English, then you ask permission, no? Because maybe if you speak in Bisaya and then the interviewer understands only in Tagalog, something like that. No? So you ask permission that you say, Mom, can I say answer in vernacular because, you know, I believe that I can best express myself in vernacular right now. Doesn't mean that I cannot speak in English, but I would like that, you know, I can best express myself in vernacular. Okay. So you ask permission. No, you ask permission. Pero practicein nyo naman mag-speak English, no? Okay. Sige.
Lorven, John, Boyser, you may unmute yourself and then ask question. Lorven, are you still there? Wala na si Lorven. All right. Ito na lang, sir. From Erica Joy Cipriano. What is your thoughts with regards on fresh graduates and like their last resort is to work at BPO companies since they can't easily get a job?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with those who are working in a BPO company. No? As long as yung trabaho mo marangal, okay, no problem about that. No? For a while, that's your breather, no? That's something that bridges you to your potential career. Ang point nun is that at least you take the initiative of not making yourself idle. You follow, you understand what I'm saying, no? Rather than if you will not take, for example, call center, then what other options you have? You stay for a while, you stay idle. Well, if you can afford to do that, there's no problem. But how are you going to justify when you apply for a job, especially if the job that you're applying is the thing that you want to do, then how are you going to justify the time that you were idle? I know a friend, my student before, my staff before, um, he's idle already for like 7 months. We just met last Monday. So I asked him because he can afford. I mean, financially he can afford. He's staying in an apartment right now. He's spending 7,000 a month. So I was surprised. Your apartment is more hefty than my apartment.
Sana all.
Correct. Sana all 7,000. We were shocked. Like we were six that time. We were having a dinner. Tapos sabi niya, wow, 7,000, grabe. And then like, for 7 months already, you're unemployed. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. So pwede naman ganon, breather. You have a breather, no? Nag-iipon ka muna ng energy, okay lang naman yan. Actually, ang rason niya is that ayaw na talaga niya yung kanyang previous company, no? Na pinagtatrabahuan. So he decided to resign and then stay idle for a while. He can afford financially, but paano mo yan sasagutin? Pwede mo naman sabihin that, nag-iipon ako ng energy, alright? Okay lang, that's okay. Because sometimes you need to take a break for a while. And then I realized that, hey, I want to go back to the world of work, no? I was so pressured that time because after kasi ng kanyang board exam yun eh. So he decided to stay idle until now, right? So ganun lang, no?
Sir, pwede mag-answer.
Yes.
Erica Joyce.
What I'm trying to say with sir is, mostly here with sir sa ating country, high school.
Hindi ko lang marinig.
Ay, dinig ko sir.
Parang malayo ata yung microphone mo.
Ay, wait lang. Hello sir. Wala sir.
Sige daw, try.
Ang akong pasagot sir is kanang ang fresh graduate sir ba kanang mostly sa ila kay nag-resort na lang apply for BPO companies like mas madali kanang akong pasagot sir kay kanang una lang ilang final resort kay kasi diri sa Philippines na stigma nga no experience no di ba sir. Well, in fact mo ba ni nag-apply ta kay for the reason of para makagain tag sukol experience. So ang fresh graduates kay nag-struggle sila na talaga ning maka-apply sa ilang start position or sa ilang inline jud sa ilang career path sir ba sa inline sa ilang courses. Wala ba sir wala ko ina-try na wala akong question, sir. Alang sa inyo.
Isa daw yung question, Benz.
Like because though of the stigma, sir, that companies will not hire those graduates na who has no experience. So that's why what's their last resort is go to BPO.
Okay. And what is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that, I think, no? Ang punto doon is that for time being that, you cannot find a job that's directly related to your training, and then you want to experience working in the call center, wag mo naman sana natin isipin na wala ka na talagang choice. But for the time being, for the time being. But the thing there is that find ways also to really work. What is your passion? What is your interest? What industry you are really interested to work with? Okay, that's my point. So there's nothing wrong. Is there something wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with working in the call center, no? Kasi okay naman yan. It's registered company. You will learn something from there, no? There are many things that you will also learn from working in a call center, no? Let us not underestimate those who are working, and let us not stigmatize or that there is something wrong in the BPO company. No, there's not. In fact, they have contributed a lot to our economy. All right. So, but if that is not the thing that you want to do, then find ways, no, to work in an industry which you think that this is the industry that I want to work with. All right? Okay. Depende yan sa'yo. Kung gusto mo, ayaw mo talaga mag-work sa call center or sa BPO industry, then let it be. All right? But there is no stigmatized. I think si Benji, di ba, nakapag-experience na ba ng BPO? Wala.
Yes, sir. During college.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. And in fact, the good thing about those who are working in the BPO is that they speak well in English, no, 'di ba? So may confidence na rin sila, no? Meron naman hindi din maganda tayo makikita sa mga nakapag-work sa BPO, pero hindi naman lahat, no, 'di ba? Meron mga impression, meron mga naririnig, 'di ba? Pero hindi naman lahat, you know? Kahit sa ang organization, I'm telling you students that there is no perfect organization. Okay? Depende yan sa'yo. If you think that you're happy, if you find that you're happy and staying in that organization acknowledges your value and that you continue to grow in that organization, no matter what kind of organization is that, let it be. No, there is no perfect organization. I'm telling you. Okay.
Maybe siguro you have to also see what are the yung parang qualification ba of that company if you really want to be part of that company. So if di ka pa qualified, so there are things that you have to do. Like for example, when I was desiring to be part of the University of Mindanao, but they have meron kasing qualifications sa UM. So I have to do is that parang preparahan mo yun. So they said that they need to someone na merong masters. So you enroll for masters so that you can be qualified on the next time that you want to apply to that company. So meron kasi mga standards din yung company. So even though you're fresh grad. So yun.
That's why importante kasi doon yung time na hindi ka magiging idle, no? Especially kung kailangan mo na din mag-earn, no one can support you anymore. So for the time being, yun ang ginagawa mo, no? It's about agility, it's about resiliency, no? It's about flexibility, it's about your ability to survive in those times. And just remember that hindi naman lahat ganon ang time, no? Meron naman talaga storm, meron sunlight, no? Depende kung anong klase situation sa iyo, yung storm at saka yung sunlight na yun. So, hindi naman straight line ang ating career, no? There are humps and bumps along the road. The thing there is that how you grow and how you learn from those experiences, all right? Okay.
So, hanap pa tayo ng other questions, sir?
Meron pa ba? Wala na? Kung wala na, then I think that's good.
Meron pa isa, sir.
Sige.
For a while.
I'm excited if what Ramram has prepared for us.
Right. Ito, sir, siguro from Marie Regual. What are the red flags to look for when applying for a job with a company?
What do you mean by red flags? What do you mean by red flags? Red flags that you will not be hired or red flags that this company is not good?
It's not good siguro.
Faina,
can you turn on your mic so that you will be able to
so that
explain
I can
it?
Respond properly.
Hi, sir. Yes, sir. Regarding with unsay red flags na kailangan i-look for sa mga company na basig na sila'y kanang history of kanang sa regarding sa ilang employees, ito.
We're not to pursue with that to be part of that company. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, one is that, and best way for you to do that is if you have friends who previously worked in that company, no, then you can ask something about that company. How is it to be working? How is it to be there in that company, in that organization, in that office? What is the working environment? What is the culture? How is the people there? Is there nepotism? Is there favoritism? Something like that. Is there an opportunity for us to grow, or that all people there have crab mentality, you know? So you can look for someone who can help you provide information about that company, especially those who have previously or or connected to that company. Alangan naman ang pwede mo gawin nung punta ka sa Department of Labor para alamin kung may mga kaso ba ang company na ito with regards to violation of employees, something like that, no? Hindi mo naman pwede gawin yon because meron naman data privacy and they will not provide that information, no? Another red flag actually is the turnover rate, no? Kung makikita mo ang turnover rate mataas masyado. At paano mo yan malaman? I remember noon nung NCCC, yung hindi pa nasunog ang NCCC, hindi magandang advertisement na ginawa nung anong call center yon ang nasunog sa NCCC na nakalagay sa ground floor.
SSI Dainata na sila ngayon, sir.
SSI ba yon?
Yeah.
Sinasabi nila that we are hiring every day. I mean, where can you find a company that's hiring every day? So what impression you are telling, no, to the public? That if you're hiring every day, your people also is leaving every day. And why is it that you have a massive hiring information dissemination, something like that? Diba? Because if you have established a good reputation, if your company has a good reputation, people will really go to you, no? People will flock at you, applicants will flock at you. So you can really select best applicants, no? But if not, you keep on hiring. Why is it that you keep on hiring? Because probably people are leaving, all right? Another thing, another indicator or another characteristic is that the composition of the employees, no? The staff. If most of the staff are young, there's not good mix of young, middle, different generations, people from different generations. Therefore, there's something wrong in that company. Why is it that the bulk of that company, or that organization, the bulk are young people? Why is that so? Because they don't like to keep employees for a long time. Because if you stay there for a long time, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na horizontal promotion. Alam niyo yon? Kahit sa ang company, merong ganong horizontal promotion. The horizontal promotion is based on the number of years. So the longer that you stay in the company, the higher is your pay, is your salary, and your benefits. So, dapat mga young lang, mga bago. Kasi kung bago, less than 5 years lahat, mababa lang ang sweldo na pwede namin ibigay. No? So yun yung mga characteristics and indicators. No? Okay? So company who keeps on hiring young people, diba? Mataas ang mobility rate, turnover rate, hindi pwede yun. No? So ibig sabihin, iba. Kung lahat na lang young ang workforce, anong good mix of ideas nun? Wala. Diba?
All right. So as much as you want to answer all other questions, but the time does not permit na. It's already 3:30. All right. So maybe you can reserve your questions on our next seminar sa componency. Okay. So let me share to you some tawag nito. Can we give a virtual round of applause for Sir Ray for the seminar today? Yan. Okay, so hopefully madami tayong na-learn from our seminar this afternoon. All right. So just mga mga reminders. Okay, Component B class meeting schedule will be November 15 to 19, 2021. So you just have to communicate. You just have to communicate with your coaches sa inyong schedule. So depende kung saan niya gusto mag Component B class meeting dyan sa mga dates na yan. Okay? Okay, Component C seminar, November 24, 2021. So still, i-announce lang yan sa Blackboard kung ano yung link and also the things that you have to do. So coordinate with your coach. And then opportunity also to be part of the seminar. So para meron kayong mga certificate, which is somehow needed nyo yan once you graduate. Now, VXI Career Talk Seminar schedule, November 29, 2021. So, popost lang din sa Blackboard LMS ang details ng career talk na yan. Then, mock interview schedule will be December 2, 2021. So, hopefully everyone would really join on this mock interview para ma-practice na natin yung mga seminar na ginagawa natin dito sa CAED. Okay, our culmination day schedule will be on December 8th. So probably this will be an afternoon. So please, this is required, no, for to everyone. So iset na ng mga calendar schedule ninyo dyan, no, para ma-manage na ninyo inyong time. Kasi kailangan ito siya. Kasi once you cannot join with this, no, kumbaga, we will have, you will be, tawag nito, NG, no, sa KAED. Okay, so for these codes, 1031, 2595, 5483, 3591, and 2328, your coach is Ma'am Iza Monteda Ramos. Okay, for component BNC. Okay, so for component BNC naman, I mean codes 1185, 3430, 3176, 2831, and 3330. I am your coach. So that means ngayon, no, ang i-approach na ninyo, hindi na yung component A facilitator ninyo. Pero kung may concern kayo sa mga activities ng component A, you directly message them. Okay? Pero right now, for component B and C, so kami na ang i-approach ninyo. Okay? For 3504, 1417, 694, 3771, and 3225, Ma'am Lady May Ontong. Then for 3074, 3685, 5509, 5471, 2898 is Sir Marvin Feble. Okay, so valid concerns, no, shall be raised, no, ahead of time. So approach your coaches, no. Any lacking requirements of each component will be graded 7.2. So dapat lahat ng activities, no, na pinapagawa on LMS kailangan yung gawin so that you will not be marked NG. Okay, please be reminded also that once matapos na ang KAED, you'll have your grade. So do not be shocked, no, pag ang nalagay sa portal ninyo or sa inyong SPR is 4.0 or PSD. So that means you passed, no, the course. So but then if you need numerical grade for that because of your scholarship, you coordinate with the registrar, okay, or sa Records and Admission Center. So para sila na magbigay sa inyo ng numerical grade. But then, no, sa grade niyo for KAED, 4.0 talaga yan siya, or PSD yung nakalagay. All right, so I think that's it. No, so thank you very much, no, for joining, no, our component B seminar. So you go to your LMS na, visit your LMS of ano yung mga instruction ng mga coaches ninyo, no, for your attendance. So don't forget also, no, yung sinabi ni Sir Ray, yung cover letter and also your resume, your kumbaga sample cover letter and resume. So andun din dyan sa LMS. So try to read, no, and understand the instruction na ibibigay ng mga coaches ninyo. So thank you very much everyone. God bless you. Keep safe. Amping mga ga.
Told me not to waste my life. She said, spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And if they give you then they can walk on by. My feet can't touch the ground, and I can't hear a sound. But you just keep on running up your mouth. Yeah, walk on over there, 'cause I'm too fly to care. sad.